Right, it's Aeris and Soundsphere. I've got Loz from While She Sleeps with me.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Are you?
Yeah, wicked, cheers.
How's the tour going so far?
Amazing. It's been ace.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll use the word ace to describe it. But no, it's been really fun. All the
Cool.
shows have been pretty mental, so it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I thought today we'd ask you some fan random questions to
God.
keep it interesting.
Right,
Because you've probably been asked about, I don't know, probably
the
serious
album and the
questions.
tour
Yeah.
and-
So,
yeah, cool.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
Right. So, what was your first thought when you woke up this morning? If you can remember that.
My first thought when I woke up this morning was actually to I book shows in my hometown of Doncaster. My first thought when I woke up this morning, pretty hungover,
Yeah.
was to get tickets on sale for a band called Counterparts that's going to be playing our local venue.
Oh, cool.
So,
you had a
woke up with a nice positive start to a day to get stuff done. Yeah.
Productive morning.
Yeah.
There's no messing around with you, is there? Next question.
Yep.
What is the last picture you took on your phone?
Do this properly. Don't want to see
It
this.
was
It
never
could be
that.
crazy. Oh, it's actually a picture of a skateboarder with a raglan on that I really like.
Oh, cool. I thought it was going to be rude, but it's fine.
It could have been.
What's the weirdest thing a fan's ever given you?
Our fans give us like really nice things usually. We haven't really had too much weird stuff. We've had chocolates with our faces printed on them
That's
from
nice.
like Japan, which isn't weird, but it's quite nice actually. We get a lot of drawings and stuff like that, like of our faces. I can't think off the top of my head anything that
So it's
crazy.
been quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
People bring some
Crazy
like
nice.
like some girls once brought some like Japanese throat medicine. You know what I mean?
Throat
like,
medicine?
so they're very
Yeah.
considerate when they're bringing us things. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
No, that's cool.
It's really crazy, but I'm sure there'll be something that I'll remember after this interview and be like, oh, I should have said that.
I don't know if you're scared of ghosts or not, but if you was in a haunted house,
Yeah.
would you stay there alone with all the lights off for 500 grand for a full night, but it's the most haunted castle, let's say, in the world?
For 500 grand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it. Give me the money, I'll do it.
What song of yours would you say you're the most emotionally attached to?
Well, actually, I wrote a song about growing up kind of thing on our first EP called The Truth, and it was like, when I started writing it, it was for my mum, and it turned into more of like a, sort of a heartfelt metal song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's called The Truth, and I'll say that one really off the first EP. That was for you, Mum.
He's a sweetheart, isn't he? What's your most favourite haircut hairstyle you've ever had?
A skullet,
A skullet.
bald on top, but hair at the back. I never heard that phrase before. When someone said it, I was like crying with laughter. It really tickled me. But yeah, I like the skullet. But that I've ever had, I got butchered recently. I had long hair down to about here and I can't cut it all off. I only wanted a trim. So
Really?
that was annoying.
Most embarrassing moment ever?
I actually said on a Canadian interview
Right.
that it was somebody asked me a question about girls or something like that, and for some reason just like brain farted and said something about grooming people, and it came out completely wrong. And I think that's one of the worst
were you by
things.
yourself,
Like,
or?
if that gets out, I'll probably be in a lot of trouble. But it was me and Sam doing an interview, and it was like, oh yeah, like something about meeting with girls or like first dates and something like that. And I was just, for no reason at all, just like came out with it. It's like, oh, you got to groom them first, haven't you? I kind of didn't mean that word at all. I just meant sort of like, you know, like find out what they're about. But it just, I
What
don't
were
know.
the faces like when you said
They didn't
that?
really say anything. They were Canadian, so I think it kind of went over their head a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit, like the phrasing of it. But that was, and then I just got ripped for it for ages from my band, and I was just like so embarrassed about it. But yeah, so if anyone sees that anywhere, then
Delete
it wasn't what I meant to say.
Do you remember the first time you ever met, or like you met the members of the band?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Do you want to know about it?
Yeah.
Or is that it?
That's it.
Yeah, we used to play in. I used to play in local bands to Doncaster, and the rest of the guys from Sheffield, and they came to support my band playing at a venue called The Leopard.
I know that place. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I met the guys, and at first I was like, who are these like cocky little shits. Do you know what I mean? And but it turned out they actually really liked my band, and
cool.
when they played like Sean's riffs, still at quite a young age at that point, was awesome. I always remember meeting them, and then we like smoked loads of weed afterwards and drank loads of beer and just partied. So, but in that same venue, I actually saw Kasabian play there to 80 people.
Really?
Back in the day. So yeah, it's a bit of info there for me.
Cool.
But yeah, that was the first time I met the lads in While She Sleeps. I think at the time they were actually called Final Ruin.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool. What's the worst gig you've ever played?
It wasn't the worst gig we ever played, but it wasn't the worst gig we ever played in terms of the people being there, but it was sort of the worst gig in terms of turnout.
Right.
Like, since the band started getting more known, we played a show in America, in Iowa, and we were like, oh, Slipknot from here, it's going to be incredible, like, they must have a big, like, metal scene here, do you know what I mean? And so we walked into the venue, like, oh, the venue looks cool. And it was quite a big room, really, for us it was like probably our second time in America ever. And so we walked in and we asked the guys what the pre-sale of the show were, and they were like 3. We were like, what? And there was actually 12 people turned up, and the room was huge. And
really?
It was a bit like, but aside from that, every single person that was there actually knew every word. So it was like, although there was no one there, and it was a bit like, we still had a really good time.
That's the main thing.
Like, you know, I'll play to 2 people if they're into the band.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it was a weird one, thinking that it was going to be sold like well, and it was.
Have you played there again since, or?
No.
No.
It was like a one-off. We were on tour with, I think we were on tour with Parkway Drive.
Right.
And so we just nipped off to do. We had an off day, and we nipped out to just do a one-off show, and it was just pretty bad. But like I say, we had a good time anyway.
Cool. Well, it's the last question.
Okay.
If you owned a pub, if you got handed it over,
Yeah.
let's say, I don't know, I hand you the keys to a pub now.
Okay.
What would you call it?
The Doghouse.
The Doghouse.
Because I'm always in the pub, so I'd always be in the Doghouse. Or the Hook and Hammer.
The Hook and Hammer.
Just 'cause it sounds pretty metal.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's it. Well, thank you for talking to us.
No worries.
Cheers.
Questions were fun. Cheers.